Now, if you can see my window here, and we want to handle the reference model first prior to going to IFC exportation. Now, I have my file in AutoCAD, and I have my file in AutoCAD. That file is a plan of a house. Let me just track it and come to that spot. I want to show you that model. I'll come to desktop here. On my desktop, I think I have it. I have it here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it. I'm going to open it, and once you see it, we are going to export it to. We are going to import it as a reference model into Tekla structures. So I'll click close this, and I'll give it some time to open. I'll close and click continue, and this is the model. This will be our reference model. So we have this plan in place, and the intention of using this as a reference into Tekla structures is because we want to create a structural drawing for this particular architectural plan. So we'll use this in Tekla structures environment as a reference model. So we'll pull all of them into Tekla structures and use as a reference model. And remember, we are using Tekla structures 2017, and this is AutoCAD 2021. You always need to, you don't need to supersede the current version of Tekla structure you're using. So always maintain, always check the format you've saved your reference. So this will save this. I'll come to save as, and I'll click on save as, and I want to save this and under into a lower version, lower to Tekla structure 2017. So I'll give it 2013 instead of 2018. So I'll click 2013. So remember, if you go and save, you'll be prompted that do you want to replace the existing? I'll go ahead and click OK. So I've saved that, and remember the name. Or if you've not seen it, I'll go ahead and click Save As and click OK, and come here and click and show you that. You can see the files of type AutoCAD 2013 format DWG. So make sure your version in AutoCAD is slightly below the current version of Tekla structure you are using. You either use the same version. If it's 2017, use 2017 AutoCAD, or you can use the lesser value, a lower value. So that's how you can do it. So I'm going to close my AutoCAD, and remember the name of my plan is house plan 11. So this is the plan we are going to pull into Tekla structures and develop structural drawing, but we'll not complete everything, just to show you how you can do it in Tekla structures using a different file from AutoCAD or PDF or SketchUp, and develop your structural drawing under Tekla structures environment. So I'm going to close this and close AutoCAD, and we go back to Tekla structures environment. Now I want to pull it in. I'll come to my file and scroll down to import. So under import, we have these options. We'll go to DXW/DXF and click on that. So we'll try and move to that file directory. We'll click on directory that will take us to that file, the folder that contains that house plan. So I'll click on browse and make sure your offset 00, your scale remain 1:1, so that you don't, the measurements that are in AutoCAD are not changed. So it retains its measurement. So whenever it comes onto Tekla structure, it is 1:1 scale. So maintain that scale, then just go straight and check reference lines, and we'll go ahead and click browse and come to this folder and click on it and click OK. So once you've done that, just go ahead and click import and give some time to load. So I'm going to close this. So these are this is the reference file we are talking about. This is the reference file that will help you create a model in Tekla structures. So from this, we are going to develop the structural drawing extracted from this plan of or a plan that was done in SketchUp, exported to AutoCAD. Now we are going to pick this and develop our structural drawing right from here. But the structural drawing, everything will not do because of time, and I'm just showing you how you can interoperate between different softwares. Now, the plan we need, this is a ground plan or the ground floor. So what we are going to do here, we are going to start by placing the pad footings or the pad footing, and then we move to column, then we go to strip footings, all those. Now let me come to edit, then come to points and start locating the points where I intend to place my marking, so that whenever I lose this reference, I'll be able to continue on with my work. So this is the plan for you. You can see the wall moving all the way this way, and we have the staircase here from ground floor, and we have the staircase here on the upper floor. So I want just to do a mark out. We want just to mark out all the locations where we intend to place the columns. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place a marking point here from that corner to that corner, and we have a point here. So on this point, what I'm going to do with that point is just to place a pad footing. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click and place a pad footing there. Remember, if you double click on the pad footing, you'll be able to see the properties of the pad footing. It is 1 by 1 meter and going down to 1 meter. So this will be changed once we've defined all the parameters of this imported reference file. So I'll close that and continue marking out. So I'm going to mark a point from this corner. I think you can see this clearly, though it's so dim. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to get a midpoint between this corner and this corner, so that I get the midpoint here to place my pad footing. Now I'll go to edit and come to point and pick on the online. The online point locates a midpoint in between 2 points you've picked. So I'm going to pick, I want to get a midpoint between this point and this point here. So I've got the midpoint between this corner and this corner. So I'm going to place my pad footing right at the center of this. So I'll come to concrete and I'll pick on the pad footing here and place my pad footing right there. Perfect. Now I'll go all the way. This is 1-to-1 scale, and if we check the measurements, we can check that measurement here. But let's first of all clear the markings first. So I'll come all the way to this location and mark this. I'll come to points, pick on online points, and I want to locate a point from that location to this location here, to that location. Perfect. Now I want to place my pad footing right there. I'll come to pad footing and place my pad footing right there. Perfect. Let's move to the next step. We want to place another column here. So to locate a column here, we have to play around until we get the midpoint here. So I'll come to edit, I'll come to edit and click online. So I need a point between that point and this point here, and that point there. So I've got this point, so I need another point from here to the edge of this wall. So how do I get that? I'll pick on online and pick on that spot. I move all the way to this particular section here. So from here, I'll be able to get my point. So I'm going to place the pad footing here. So I'll come to concrete, pick on the pad footing, pick pad footing right there, and place your pad footing right there. We'll move to the second corner, and I'm coming to this particular point. I'm going to edit and pick on points, pick online. The online point option helps you to get a particular point in between 2 points of your selection. I'll pick on the first one, and I want to pick this corner here and move all the way to this particular corner right there. So I'll click apply and give it OK, and go to concrete and pick pad footing right there, and pick pad footing once again and place my pad footing right there. So we need some columns inside here. So we need a column right here, and we are coming right there and pick online points, and I'll pick that spot and pick this spot. Make sure you see the corner there, so that we get the midpoint of the two corners, of the 2 points rather. I'll come to concrete, pick pad footing right there, and place it here. Let's move to another one. We have a column here, and we don't really need a column there, but it should be there. So inside here also we need a column. We need a column here. So we are going to get a midpoint here. We are going to edit. Just go to edit and pick midpoint and pick on that and snap on that spot. Apply and give it an OK. Come to concrete and pick pad footing and place it right there. So we have a column there. So this column will have a beam that will run and connect to a beam that will be somewhere here. Though we can still add another column here because this span is too wide. And what we can do, we can get the midpoint between these 2 points and place another one here. So even that should not worry you, because we can just place another column here. We'll just pick on edit and come to any point and pick another point from this location to this location. Make sure your line is at 90 degrees. You can see from our original point, you can see it has highlighted that this is a 90 degrees point. So we locate a point right there. I'll come to points here and pick that point and snap on this point once again and target the end of that. So I'll click apply and give it an OK, and come to concrete and pick on pad footing and locate another column here. Another pad footing right there. There we are. And exactly what we need. And now let's check whether our column will be there. Our column will be there, and out of this span we need another column. So to locate that column, we want to get the midpoint in between for the 2 points. I'll come to midpoint. I'll snap on this point here and move all the way to this point. Move all the way to this point here. Perfect. I'll close that by clicking on OK. So we have the midpoint here. So we locate a column here in the midpoint. And if you zoom close, you'll see we have a window here, and we don't want to interfere with an architect's design. Our main purpose of using these references to get a guidance on how we can create a structural drawing from this reference drawing from the architect. Now, being this point is locating itself right at the location of window, and the architect will not be willing to shift its window to a different point. What we're going to do, we are going just to place a pad footing here into that location. And now what we are going to do, we are going to select it and move it away slightly off the window. I'll come to special move and click linear and check our XYZ. So our XYZ, we want to move this on this direction. So which XYZ? On the XYZ, it's the X-axis, or it is the Y-axis that is pointing in this direction. If you take a look at the bottom end here, This is the y-axis pointing that direction. So we'll have to put in here maybe 50 millimeter, and we want to move this step by step into that direction until it gets until it gets off the window location. So let's go ahead and click move, and we'll just click move, and it will move all the way out of the window location. So we can leave it there and click OK. So we have a column right there, and also we can place another column right here because of the span. And since we don't have any window here, what you're going to do, you're going to mark the points here. So my eyes are very powerful, and I'll be able to see all this. So you can locate the point here, midpoint in between the two, and come and apply that. And come to edit once again and pick the point. And I want to locate a midpoint between this point and the edge of the wall, and I'll terminate it somewhere there, right there. Now let me bring in my pad footing and place it somewhere there. Let me place it here. So now out of this, I want to place my strip footing along this, so that if I lose this, I will not be able to have any problem with this. So I'll come to edit. I'll come to edit. I'll come to concrete and pick on strip footing, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to place it right at the edge there, and move all the way to this far end here, to that spot, and move all the way to this spot here, and move all the way to that spot, and move all the way to this spot, and click create. So we have that in place. So what we are going to do is just to double click on it and change the measurements. The position, we change the measurements here. Actually it's wider, and that's not a bigger problem. Just double click on it, and let's try and change this. The thickness, instead of 300, we can give it 200. 200 will be okay. Apply and give it an OK. So that will be okay. So this will be strip footing for that. And if you come to view here, and you'll come and check that. So we're moving step by step. So I'm going to add another strip all the way from that spot to this far end. So with the help of these points, we'll be able to create that. I'll come to footing and pick on strip footing and locate that on that position. Make sure you snap on the accurate point. So that should be accurate, and we'll move all the way to this location, and press your middle button on the mouse, and you've created your strip footing. And we need another one from here and all the way to these points, and press your middle button on the mouse, and you've created one. So that is how you can create that. Now if you come with the columns, we'll come with the columns here. We'll come with the columns here and pick on the column and snap right there. First of all, you need to change double click on that and change that, or you can leave it at 400 by 400. Right there. So more details will come. Let me just pick on that and snap on that and place another one there, and place another one here, and place another one here, and place another one here, and place another one here. So this is basically how you can import your reference model into Tekla structures and develop your structural drawing. So we want to go into Rebar detailing on this. This topic is just handling importation of a reference model into Tekla structure to help you develop a model in Tekla structures. This plan was was brought forward from an architect after creating a plan, and he wants a structural drawing to be drafted. So you'll take the plan in either DWG or a PDF and pull it into Tekla structures, and this is how you can do it. So what we'll do, we just get rid of this first. We get rid of that, these columns, and remain with just the foundation layout. So let's move to the next step under IFC. Next step under IFC is still under interoperability.